Welcome all computer science students. Let's explore comments. Comments are used to add a remark or note in the source code. When we are writing a program, we add comments in our program and they are never executed by interpreter because the purpose of adding a comment in our source code is different. We add comments in our code to make the code understandable to other humans. If the same source code we are going with share with any other human being, so that code is easier to understand to other person if we have added suitable comments in our code. They are used primarily to document the meaning and purpose of source code and its input and output requirements so that we can remember later how it functions and how to use it. Today we have created certain code or certain source code, and after 10 days we look back at only and not in between. So that there is a possibility that we can forget ourselves also that what we have done. So to make sure what is the functioning of this source code and what are the variables used for what purpose, we add comments. And when it is more suitable when we are making large and complex softwares. It may require programmers to work in teams, and sometimes a programmer written by one programmer is required to be used or maintained by another programmer. In that case, comments will be useful. In such cases, documentation in the form of comments are needed to understand the working of a program. Now in Python, how many types of comment you can use? Single line comment as well as multi-line comment. But in example 5.1, the command used is only about single line comment. Hash indicates that after this, whatever is written in this line is a command. So first line is a command, second line is also a command, but third line says amount is a variable which is containing the value 3400. After that, this next line is also a command, and next line is also a command. And you could notice that why we have given the command. Comments are explaining the components of our program. That the above two comments are showing the total marks is sum of marks in all the tests of mathematics. Total marks is equal to test 1 plus test 2 plus final test. So total marks is explained by comments. Now in the program 5.4, write a Python program to find the sum of two numbers. Again, you have taken two variables num1 and num2, for which you have assigned certain values also. There is a result variable which is getting the sum of num1 and num2, and it is printing finally the value of the result. So what is the purpose of this program has been explained by this command to find the sum of two numbers, and the previous command is telling us that this is a program number 5-4. And you know 10 plus 20, it will definitely print 30. Now, next concept is whatever you have learned so far or whatever you are going to explore more about Python, Python treats every value or data item, whether it's numeric, string or any other data type, as an object, in the sense that it can be assigned to some variable or can be passed to a function as an argument. This object is a very important concept in all the object-oriented programming languages like C++, Java. Why? Because in these programming languages, the approach of programming is to identify the objects, and then with each object we find the associated attributes or associated properties or attributes or data, we can say. Likewise, what actions or what methods are required for that object. These two things are major focus related to each object. In real life also, if you focus on any object, you will first of all notice the properties of an object, and after that its behavior or action taken by the object. So in the programming approach, which is object-oriented programming approach, we break our problem majorly in the terms of objects. We identify the existence of objects in our overall project, and then we work on each individual objects and the required properties and actions to be taken by that object. In Python, everything is an object. That means the variable you are using definitely will be object also. Every object, if you want to know about its identity, you can make use of id function. Every object in Python is assigned a unique id which remains the same for the lifetime of that object. जब तक वो object जिंदा है तब तक उसकी id जिंदा रहती है. This id is akin to the memory address of the object. This is important name, means you understand the concept of id. id of any object is akin, similar to the memory address of the object. Let's understand it. I am saying is 12, there are actually two identities, two things. One is a variable and one is a value. And if you will find the id of a and id of 12, both will be same. Because in memory at one location the value 12 is stored and is referring to 12. So in that case both are actually talking about the same thing. So id of 12 and id of a is both same. When I am saying b is equal to a, again if I try to find the id of b, it will also be the same, because again be it a, be it b and be it 12, they are same thing right now. A and b are definitely variables and they are referring to the value 12, but id of 12 is the particular number, so id of a and b are the same. Means they all are actually talking about the one thing. So the id of that object is returned. In this example also num1 is 20. If the id of num1 you will ask, this is different, and in the next variable num2 is equal to 30 minus 10, which is 20. So if you will find the id of num2 again, so it will be the same as in the previous id of num1, because when we are saying id of num1 or id of 20 or id of num2 also, because it is also pointing to 20, all are same. So it should be clear, everything in Python, everything in Python means every data type, be it numeric, be it a string or any other data type, is about object. It is considered as object and it has a unique id associated with it, which you can find out making use of the id function. And that's all for right now. Thank you all of you, and